You guys ever seen this meme? I feel like I'm living through this right now. Why are you booing me? I'm right. I got a lot of comments in the last video detailing that, no, Pete, you don't have the right to tell me what to do with my money. Well, I don't. You're absolutely right. That's true. But did I ever say that I wanted control over your wallet? No. I only gave my reasoning as to why pre-ordering Black Ops 6, which is essentially giving Activision your $70 before the game even comes out, is a really bad idea. Who would have thunk it? As far as I'm concerned, pre-orders are a borderline scam anyways, especially considering that you're paying full price for a product that you've never used. It's like the ultimate FOMO trap. It doesn't even really exist because you can just buy the game on day one. No matter how early you pre-order, the game still comes out on that day. And additionally, when it's a game that comes out on Game Pass, you could just get a free trial for Game Pass to try out the game before you drop $70 on it, especially when that game is Call of Duty, the ultimate money grab that promises one experience but always gives another. It seems the people who comment these things don't really acknowledge the validity of my arguments or actually listen to them at all. It's actually hilarious that even though I will talk about eomm, how atrociously they handled their matchmaking talks, the game experience, I go over all the patents, and not only that, but how they line up with Activision-issued statements and provide overwhelming evidence the game is rigged. In spite of any decent mechanics, the people will comment, still buying it. Don't care, still buying it. Like, I get it. Some people just want to turn their brains off and shoot people after a long day for 30 minutes. That's completely acceptable. Unfortunately, COD is designed for that demographic. But for people who actually feel strongly about the franchise, enjoy getting better, and have loved the game for a long while, and still wanting to get the game because of the hype surrounding it, all I'm saying is, do you really think that this game is going to be any less of a headache than Modern Warfare 3? I feel like only a few of us content creators are actually calling for us to be against the hype and against the clear nostalgia bait they're trying to pull. Every year, we seem to forget about eomm. Every year, we give COD a free pass because of some cool new mechanics or content that baits us into purchasing the game. When are we going to figure out that eomm is going to be in BO6 and probably more dialed in than it's ever been because of the skill ceiling that the game is gonna have? That's what I've been saying. I don't want to be the pioneer behind the greatest movement in gaming and control what everyone is spending. While it would be great to force Activision's hand and get some change in the game experience, my goal is mostly to make people aware that modern games, led mainly by Call of Duty, are just rigged. They're not real. They're dopamine outlets that can be manipulated and tailored to breed a cycle of addiction. You're not playing the game is playing you. Black Ops 6, according to some Treyarch devs, is undoubtedly their finest work, but the game doesn't have eomm yet, and when it happens, which it will, it'll tank how the game feels. You could have 10 out of 10 multiplayer gameplay, but as soon as you start putting into practice some mechanics and practices that make your experience disingenuous, it's over for your game, at least to anybody that is willing to wake up. It's been said that it's easier to fool somebody than convince them that they've been fooled. People still don't believe they're getting played by the game. They believe that they're the ones behind the wheel influencing everything. Gunfights definitely aren't rigged, matches aren't definitely tailored to fit specific requirements, and there definitely isn't enough evidence in Activision's official matchmaking talks that is a clear indicator that something unfair is going on. I've provided so much information, and some people who watch my material couldn't even be bothered with entertaining the idea that something else is happening, and that is just a skill issue. Give me a break. I have more than enough information to back all of what I'm saying up. Now, while I do definitely appreciate any and all positive comments, either letting me know they experienced something like what I'm describing, or reinforcing my video's main idea and adding more to the story, there seems to be an incredible lack of action on our part here. All I was saying about Black Ops 6 is that the game might actually be really great on paper, and it looks really promising, and in the studio, it looks great too. But as soon as it hits our consoles and PCs on day one, the matchmaking is going to ruin the experience. Mark my words. Or better yet, they'll make the matchmaking really loose for the beta to make everyone talk about it, and then change it at the last second before the game releases. I feel like Doctor Strange in Infinity War. There's a million possibilities and only one out of them is good, and that is them talking about changing the matchmaking and keeping their promises. Until then, I'm not pre-ordering. I don't care how promising the game looks, and it looks like the most promising game in the last 6 years. Don't care. So back to, why are you booing me? I'm right. People are just coming at me when all I'm saying, which you know is true, is that Black Ops 6, which is the best looking COD in a while, is going to suffer the same problems as its predecessors unless Activision explicitly talks about matchmaking changes. And until then, it's smart to avoid the pre-order because you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. So if you want to drop $70 for a game that yet again fooled you with the Black Ops aesthetic that got changed from Gulf War originally to Black Ops 6 to fool us, that promises new mechanics and nostalgic elements like classic prestige, but will nonetheless have matchmaking that is just as terrible, and it's not even released yet, be my guest. Hurl your $70 at Activision before you can even test out the game. But we know this game is going to suffer from the same old problems, the same old greed. Sorry for calling it out and bursting your bubble, but the COD cycle is delusional, and we know this. Players are so willing to ignore the glaring problems with the game just because they want to try out the newest installment. If you didn't enjoy Modern Warfare 3, there is no way you're going to enjoy Black Ops 6. If they're not going to talk about the matchmaking, I'm not buying it. I'm not pre-ordering it, period. X-Defiant's fun. I'm going to get my kicks out of that game, and I'm still going to cover COD because they never run out of news because Activision can never stop finding ways to mess up. But until there's confirmation that this game is going to be better than the last 5 in regards to the matchmaking, not getting it. And you shouldn't either. There's no reason to play into this clear bait they're trying to pull. They know about the backlash. They're well aware of it, and they're still pulling this without talking about matchmaking at all. And so many people have already pre-ordered it. It's actually mind-boggling to me. But that's all I got for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Prime Pete. Take it easy.